All right, let's just get right into it. Think about dating for the last, 10 years? It's been all about that endless, soul-crushing swiping, right? Well, guess what? That whole era is basically over. Something big is changing, and we're about to unpack the brand new playbook for how people are actually finding love now.
So I've got to ask you something, and be honest with yourself. Does your love life feel like a game? You know, one where you're desperately trying to level up, or maybe one you just keep losing?
Well, what if I told you that thinking about it like a game is exactly the right way to see it? Just maybe not the game you're thinking of. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you're going to understand why the new rules of dating look a whole lot more like a Twitch stream than a Tinder profile. Yeah, you heard that right.
All right, here's the game plan. We're going to walk through 5 key things. We'll start with the end of swipe culture, then jump into this new idea of dating as a live stream. From there, we'll break down 2 totally different strategies: hot take dating versus slow dating. And we'll wrap up by looking at what's next, the simulation era.
Okay, first up, let's talk about the big why. Why is all this changing? It really boils down to one thing: the complete and utter exhaustion that's taken over modern dating.
And you don't have to look far to see it. This comment from someone on Reddit, wow, it just hits the nail on the head. They said, it's too easy to write people off right away for not meeting your rigid on-paper standards. Plus, meeting someone specifically to see if they're a good enough fit feels like walking a tightrope. I mean, who hasn't felt that? It's like every first date is a high-stakes job interview. It's just draining.
And there's a name for this feeling. We're calling it vibe check burnout. It's that specific kind of exhaustion you get from just an endless volume of low-quality interactions. All those swipes, all those first dates that feel more like an interrogation than an actual connection. Seriously, if you're feeling this, you are so not alone. This is probably the defining problem in dating right now.
All right, so we've identified the problem, right? The burnout is real. So what's the fix? This is where we get to the core idea, a completely new way to think about how we connect with people.
The big idea here is something called gamified spectatorship. And it sounds complicated, but you see it everywhere. It's basically taking something you'd normally just watch and adding game-like stuff to it, like voting or making choices or getting rewards, so that you, the viewer, actually get to influence what's happening. The one-way street of entertainment is becoming a two-way conversation. And yeah, this is exactly what's starting to happen in dating.
I mean, just look at this. On one side, you have a huge reality dating show that's literally built around a game board. On the other, you have a mock-up of what a dating profile could look like if it were a Twitch stream, complete with live chat and polls. The takeaway here is huge. We don't just want to passively watch things unfold anymore. We want to play. We want to have an impact. And that fundamental desire is totally reshaping how we approach finding love.
So why are we so obsessed with this kind of interaction? Well, it turns out it taps into some really deep human needs. First, there's autonomy. It gives us a feeling of control, Like our choices matter. Then there's mastery. When we figure things out and unlock outcomes, it feels good, it's rewarding. And finally, and maybe this is the most important one, belonging. Participating with a group of people builds a real sense of community, which, at the end of the day, isn't that what we're all looking for?
Okay, so this all sounds cool in theory, but how does it actually apply to, your dating life? That brings us to our first big strategy. Think of this one as the speed run. Welcome to Hot Take Dating. We are skipping the small talk. Forget about how was your week. We're talking about debating climate policy, prenups, and the future of capitalism before the appetizers have even hit the table. It's intense, it's direct, and it's all about one thing: efficiency. But listen, it doesn't always have to be so serious. Check out this amazing low-stakes example. The practice of sharing a single dessert is a fabricated romantic ideal. I desire my own perfect portion of cheesecake. I love that. A hot take like this isn't really about the cheesecake, is it? It's a clever way to test for personality, for boundaries, and to see how someone reacts when you don't agree with them.
Okay, but if you're going to try this, there are 3 rules to doing it right. 1. Prioritize what actually matters to you, your core values, not just your favorite movie. 2. Don't just state your opinion like it's a fact. Invite a debate. Ask them what they think. And number 3, this is the most important part: evaluate their reaction. It's not about whether they agree with you. It's how they disagree. Are they curious? Do they get defensive? That reaction tells you everything you need to know.
Now, I know what some of you are thinking. That hot take stuff sounds exhausting. And if that speed run feels way too intense for you, don't worry. There is a completely different approach. Let's kind of slow things down a bit And look at the second major strategy, the thoughtful playthrough.
This quote from Candace Williams really captures the entire philosophy. She says, slow dating isn't just about time. It's about the quality of your attention, the energy you bring, and the you that shows up. It's not about taking forever. It's about being present and focusing on a real connection, not just ticking boxes.
And here's the playbook for that. It's not a list of rules. It's a whole different mindset. Just look at this one, presence over permanence. I mean, think about that. How many dates have we all been on where our mind is racing ahead, trying to figure out if this is the one or if it's doomed to fail? Slow dating says, hey, just be here, now. Connect with the actual human being sitting across from you, not the fantasy or the fear you've built up in your head. It's about exploration, not a game you have to win.
Okay, you've made it this far. Now you have two completely different, powerful strategies for the dating world right now, the speed run and the thoughtful playthrough. So, what's next? Let's get into our final section and look at where this is all going. Because believe it or not, the next big thing is already under construction.
I want you to just imagine something for a second. What if you could simulate an entire relationship before you even went on the first date? I'm talking about seeing the fights, the big decisions, all of it.
And this isn't some sci-fi movie plot. This is a real academic concept called RelateSim. It's an AI framework that basically builds a digital persona of you and one for a potential partner. And then it runs those digital versions of you through all the pivotal make-or-break moments in a relationship, the big fights, the major life challenges, to see how you'd both handle it.
So how does it work? Well, it's grounded in your actual personality and history. It simulates these super high-stakes scenarios and gives you a safe way to rehearse for the tough stuff. The goal is to predict the long-term dynamics of a relationship. And here's the kicker. In one study, this simulation was significantly more accurate at predicting relationship success than just comparing basic profiles. That's a huge deal.
So this leads us right back to where we started. If an AI told you that a relationship had a 95% chance of failing, would you still go on that first date? I mean, really think about that. Would you even give it a shot?
Look, this kind of tech is coming, one way or another. So the question isn't really about the AI. The real question is about us. Are we actually ready for the answers it might give us?
If any of this resonated with you, do me a favor. Share this with that one friend who is just so tired of swipe culture. They need to hear this.
If this touched your heart, please subscribe, like, and share it with your family. Save this for more meaningful content ahead.